Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another smartphone couch video. Women simply going for the good D. I was thinking about that because me, maybe a few other content creators on here will actually get into sex and everything, but a lot don't. And I saw. I ain't gonna call out some names, but I always see some guys try to subtly put down, like having muscles and stuff, indirectly putting down body game, right? And I'm just like, okay, yeah, promoting all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, women going for the men who gonna give them that good D, providing with that sex. Because I thought about that this morning, because, I check all my virtual traps and everything. I check my Facebook. And, I saw a post. Somebody was actually like, shared a screenshot from a woman's post talking about how women go crazy over the D. And they do. They do. And see, that's the one thing. Everybody talking all this other stuff, but it's about the D. Everything else is what they might settle for. Because, like, I'm going to tell you what. Like, you get all these women talking about, oh, there's a shortage of men and everything. No, there's a shortage of men they want to have sex with. Now, even when they throw that money in, that's what they'll settle for. That's what they'll settle for. Indeed, many women, they'll get that man with money. But then when that man with money doubles back home one day, hey, Joe Roughneck, I ain't hit you with this in a while. Yeah, he doubled back home, hear some noise upstairs and stuff. And some dude tearing, some dude don't got half his money, tearing his woman up. She's screaming. Shoot, she's speaking in tongues. A shot at her. I'm like, shoot. Oh, man. You know what? Seriously, but if you really look at women's behavior and what they're doing, they just want sex. There ain't nothing wrong with it. They just more free for it. They free. They just free to go for who they want. They ain't forced to settle for anybody. But see, that's not discussed. That's not discussed. Well, except when guys are discussing women's body counts. That should be a clue right there. Only way those women get a high body count is they having sex. Ergo, they going for men who turn them on sexually. Now, I know some guys say a woman can have sex with any man out here. Yeah, but the truth of the matter is they only want the men they think got good D. Got the BDE. Got an actual physical big one. Or it's just a man they feel like can satisfy them sexually. Because indeed, that's the main thing with body game. That's what I've said, because like I was going to actually talk about body game, because you know what, people, men and women constantly send like what they call proof of body game. Hey, yo, this proof of body game, man. Be men and women saying, like, a few people, about 3 people recently sent me this clip from this young lady, and what she said. Now, in all fairness, she did say, yeah, if a woman genuinely like a guy, if he ain't like super fit or anything, they could deal with him. But she said they still be looking. They still be looking. Why are they looking? Why are they looking? And in fact, one of the dude who he follows me on IG. We follow each other and stuff. He's called my name out in some videos too and stuff. He's a male exotic dancer, and he was sharing some clips of him, dancing with this woman, giving a chair dance to, right? And the women in the comments were like, yeah, I want that, I want that, based on the body. But it's all that sexual thing. In fact, why are women going for male exotic dancers? Why are they going to these Magic Mike shows and stuff, or going crazy over male exotic dancers? Yeah, it's the body, but what is the body doing? Turning them on sexually. When I talk about that whole select and non-select thing, guys be trying to add all this extra shit in, but it's a sexual hierarchy. I mean, the top of the pyramid is the guys who got that raw sex appeal. The next guys on the pyramid, I mean, yeah, they'll have some money and status, but it ain't the money and status turning a woman on. It's what she's settling for. And even they still got to have some level of sex appeal, you know? Because if you really look at what I'm talking about, 2 books, Nice Guys and Players, and then Sexual Chemistry. I get deeper into it in Sexual Chemistry. Because the thing is, guys can talk all this stuff, and, you know, guys talk mouthpiece and all this stuff, and, you know, money or trying to do this, certain behaviors. Okay, cool. And women do respond to those behaviors. No, let's just be clear. They respond to those behaviors from a man they consider sexy. See, that's the thing. Even when you get women talking about the type of men they want, even the ones who say they want money, even the ones who say, no, I want that guy with money. They want it from a man they consider sexy. Because, see, think about something. Okay, like that money thing. Women talk about, well, yeah, they got to have that provider, that guy who does this and that. And, yeah, okay. There's plenty of guys out there who got that. There's plenty of men out there who got money. And this is, let me just be clear, because I know somebody come in and think, oh, those black women. No. I did a video yesterday focused specifically on black women. When it's specifically American black women, I will say that. But when I'm talking in general, like now, it's women all over the damn planet. It's women all over the planet. And that's a big reason. I'm going to be real. That's a big reason why a lot of men are complaining and dropping out. The women just don't find them sexually appealing. Women are free. See, that's the thing. Women are free to go for the men they want. Well, except in places like Afghanistan, you know. But think about that. And no, I'm going to say that I don't usually get into the politics, at least publicly. Very much so privately, but not publicly. But, you know, think about it. They basically controlling those women's sexuality and where they can go and everything. But when we talking about, you know, all this talk about modern women and, you know, 304s, body count, the real complaint is the women are free to have sex with who they want. You know, or to put it in rougher terms, they can fuck who they want now. They don't have the same thing. Yeah, and yeah, they'll want a relationship, and you know, they still want some money. Ideally, from a guy they find sexually appealing, or if they don't find a guy sexually appealing, some women are still settled. But let's put it like this: one thing that's not talked about now and really needs to be addressed. And I'm finding it interesting. It's hard to find it being addressed. Is the nature to which women cheat, and they ain't cheating. Look, typically think about something. They usually cheating on a guy who got money. Let me say that again. They usually cheating on a guy who has money, who's doing all that stuff. Now, yeah, it's bullshit. It is bullshit because you know the man got good intentions towards him or something. But what they cheating for? Sex. They ain't getting any. And shoot, I be hearing stuff like in the real world. Remember, I'm talking in the real world. Women be having like a decent guy, but the dude might not want to do them. Or their sex life ain't all that. So what they going to do? They're going to look for somebody. The dudes ain't healthy. Like when I talk about body game, a part of that is just being healthy for sex. You know, just being healthy. Shoot, looking like you could last more than 2 minutes. You know, look like you might be dominant in bed. Look like you can pick her up. Basically, you need to turn her on sexually. And the physical part plays a big part. Even for those guys who try to put down body game and stuff. A woman gotta like looking at you naked. She gotta like looking at your ass naked. You know. And regardless of what size she like in a man, let's just be real. They ain't necessarily mean you gotta be, you know, on some Dexter St. Jock shit. But she gotta be comfortable with you physically. Whatever. And women like different ranges. It depends on the woman, but she's still checking it out. It's just a reality. And she gotta like looking at your body. If she look at your body, she can't be frowning or something. And you might be the nicest person in the world. You might be the nicest person in the world, but if you ain't turning a woman on sexually, you friend zoned. You think a woman ain't gonna friend zone a man that she's sexually turned on by? You know? And that's why, like I said, that's why I promote body game. And that plays a big part. It is still more too that you gotta do. But it's all about opening her up. But a lot of men can't do that. And like I said, they'll settle for a guy with money, you know, for social reasons or something. I still say he double back home. They have a baby, paternity test that joint. I'm serious. I'm serious. There's not enough talk about it. It's not enough talk. Why a woman's dealing with a certain man and won't deal with her. She turned on by that man, not turned on by that other. You know? Now I know some people say, well, it's Chad and Tyrone, it's Pookie and Ray Ray. Well, anytime women mess with any of them, they turned on sexually. Shoot. Because that's not talked about. Seriously. That's not talked about. You know, why some of these older women will get a young boy. Sex. Sex. Because let's think about that young boy. You get some older woman. She in her 40s or something. She work out. You got a lot who work out. You know, she staying in shape, all that stuff. She doing better. I mean, you know, she ain't so much as hit the wall. She might have hit a fence, scraped a fence or something, but she's still decent. She's still horny as shit. Who she gonna go for? She got her money, okay, check. She don't need that from the guy. So you got that young boy who's showing some interest. Shoot, she'll take it. See, that's something that's not talked about. In fact, I'm surprised a lot of people not talking about at least teachers, married teachers, going for students in their class. Those guys don't have any money. And they don't got no game like that. They dealing with an adult. It's a crying shame. And that ain't some new thing either. I remember when I was young, and stuff, the women in my neighborhood, they were concerned about other women in the neighborhood. For that reason. For that reason. I was told directly. You know? There was a woman in my neighborhood. My grandmother had to do some work for her and stuff because, you know, Ron was hustling, but grandma was concerned. She was like, you know, I was worried about you trying to holler at you. She knew. She knew women know each other. Hell, that's where that shadow world come in. So women can get off sexually. You know? And see, what I'm telling, and I'm going to tell you why my shit work. Why my shit work. I'm telling dudes how to get pussy. It's just that simple. And primary thing is the body. You don't have to be super muscular or something. Women just got to like it. So having your best body and figuring out which women are checking it out. Seeing the signals and stuff. Because when women are turned on sexually by a man, shit, she the more he can turn her on sexually, she can't contain herself. Make it easy. He don't have to do anything special, hit her with a line. If he can just pick up on her interest, all he have to do is just have a regular conversation. And see, I'm gonna tell you what, until we have a major conversation about sex, because I be seeing all these like panels and different races, and you know, and sometimes if a woman does kind of say, well, yeah, she turned on, the guys like jumping on her and stuff. Shoot, she went that deep. Shoot, like I said on my Patreon, see, I get deeper about sex on my Patreon $20 level, but I've said it, I'll keep saying it. Because I witnessed it personally. I enacted it personally. Your D can change a woman's body. People, because, you know, my inner circle, let's just say I'm part of that Tantra subculture, taking sex to a deeper level. And in fact, that's why I shout out Master Yao a lot. Because if somebody show interest, I send people his way. He's teaching men and women Tantra. You know, he's teaching men how to make a woman have an orgasm without touching them. And, you know, yeah, that's possible. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you a clue about that. A woman, she can just look at a man and have an orgasm. She can look in his eyes. She can just look at him. I never forget this woman. We used to just talk by phone back in the day. Like I said, I did that online thing before. So this is before you could share pictures, you know. Saw an ad, called her. I said, I never forget. I called her and I said, she said, well, what you doing? Well, I'm just sitting here chilling. What you doing? She was like, she's in the bathtub, bubble bath, and got candles. Oh man, that was like 4 hours of conversation and phone sex. But, I never forget what she told me. I mentioned this before on here. She said, Ron, because we were open. I mean, come on. You know, what are we gonna say? Oh, you can't mess with anybody else. Shoot, she was on some freak shit, so we were just sharing information. What we were doing with other people. But I remember she said, hey, Ron, I saw this guy at the gas station. His aura was so powerful, I had to sit down. I was like, damn. She was turned on, seriously. You watch some women sometimes, you really look at them. Look at them on a dance floor at a club or something. They might just be dancing with a guy and stuff. He ain't penetrate them or anything, but they had no orgasm. In fact, my cousin, I was at a birthday party for my cousin, right? So she had, I'm her cousin on her mother's side, but then she had a cousin on her father's side. I was on her mother's side. Her mother was my older cousin, even though I called her auntie. But she had a cousin on her father's side at the party too. Now he took this innocent girl. He grinded. He was a serious player. Yeah, even in high school, you could look at him and tell. And he grinded this girl up against the wall. He opened it up so much she was going around grinding everybody else. Seriously, that's how deep it is, shoot. And in fact, and mentioning Master Yao in his book Awakening Master Masculine, he mentioned this, and he had some real observation. When women looking at a man for anything, there's always a sexual component, even if sex ain't gonna happen. It's always on their mind, but they'll keep it private because a lot of guys can't handle it. First thing is, oh, she a 304, and she might just be talking about it. And all of them got, if they got a working vagina, they have it. That's why you get some women, they even lesbians, some butch lesbians, they'll still get with a dude every now and then. They'll still get with a dude. So I witnessed that. He'd be like, what? I remember I saw like a Scared Straight episode. They were at a woman's prison. And this rough looking woman, shoot, she looked more manly and stuff. Talking about she got to do what she do for her 4 kids. And you like, damn, she had that. But working vagina. Look, women want sex. And when they choosing guys, they free to it. They got their own money. And yeah, they'll still want companionship. Somebody to talk to, all that shit. But they can do that and put him in the friend zone. That's why a lot of guys will get in that friend zone. Because they getting everything. They're getting the attention, conversation, and everything. But if they ain't turned on sexually, it just is. But who they gonna get with sexually? And like I say, the primary way is turning them on with your body. Primary. That ain't the only way. Now you could probably like get to know all that shit. That just takes a bit longer. But no matter what, they still gotta be comfortable seeing you naked. So hence body game. And then endurance. You gotta look like you can fuck. Seriously, he can. And women are just doing that. Now I've said that several times. I haven't really had a woman a real woman anyway, try to dispute that. They be asking me how I know. I was like, I'm just cool. I'm comfortable with your sex drive. Hell, benefit from it. Why wouldn't I be comfortable? That's why I know a lot. Because even what I said, like if you average looking or something, you got a good body, you can still get some. And if you like busted or something, but you get the impression you got that good D or good tongue. Let's just keep it a buck. Or you can be a freak in the bedroom. A woman still mess with you. She just might not want to be seen with you in public. She'll just be insistent on a birth control. She probably wouldn't want to have your baby. Because when it comes down to sex, it's all about that pleasure for the women. Everything else, boom. Everything else, boom. In fact, their biggest problem is just the whole sexual satisfaction thing. That's what they complaining about the most. But it's still the sex thing. And until like any guy, look, I'm going to tell you what, even with that whole nice guy thing, if a woman call a man nice, it don't necessarily mean he's just a good person. He might be, but a lot of times they say a guy nice, but it really means, and womanese mean, he don't got that chemistry. In fact, some women will just say that. They don't feel it. They got to feel something in a man. They don't feel that chemistry. It don't matter what he got going on, no matter what he got going, even if he's handsome. That's why some handsome men can be rejected. Women simply don't feel that chemistry. She ain't turned on by him, you know? And I'm gonna tell you what, there's always gonna be I'm gonna tell you what, there's gonna be a problem for many men until they deal with that aspect. And then once they deal with that aspect, they can figure out, okay, what is it about me I can turn on a woman, and then which women I'm turning on. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You know? And a lot of guys don't get it. That's why you gotta really, I would say a critical mass of young men ain't having sex because they don't get that. You know? They don't get the basics. So they talking about everything else. And you know, all that other stuff, like I said, it comes in there. It comes in there, but the primal thing that turns on a woman is a man's body. That's the primal thing. And then everything else is just getting along with her. But if you can if like say you don't turn on a woman physically, but you get along with her and all that, friend zone. And seriously, because I'll tell you, you know what is interesting, man? I talk to so many women. Right? And it always come down to that same thing. They be like, oh, I ain't meeting these men and stuff. And then you really press them, there's plenty of men around them. If you press them, you say you find out wherever they are, there's plenty of men. Like I know one woman, right? Like I'm doing this before I go to the gym, right? Now I knew this woman who used to go to that same gym, but she was always saying, I ain't no men around, ain't no men around. She only saw, her eyes only saw maybe a couple. But I'm at the gym, I'm like, there's plenty of guys here with. How were you having issues? But she wasn't turned on by them. So I want y'all to think about that. I mean, it is what it is. Now, somebody might try to dispute it. Okay. All right. But, you know, if the women say, oh, you just a friend, or, you even out with a woman and, she ain't looking at you, she looking over, she looking over your shoulders to that Mandingo motherfucker, or that, motherfucker, like, must look like he'd tear up some shit. Okay? Don't say I didn't tell you. So anyway, that's all I got for now, yo. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace.